The Iowa Hawkeyes are one of the most consistent programs in college football. They are never good enough to make the college football playoff or win the Big Ten outright, but they also have not had a losing record since 2012, and they truly are one of the most consistent programs in the sport. But this might be the year for Kirk Ferentz and company, as the Hawkeyes are currently ranked in the AP poll as the number 5 team in all of college football. This is their highest ranking since November of 2015, when they got all the way up to number 3 in the rankings. And to start off this season, their 2 wins are the most impressive of any college football team. However, can they keep it up? That remains to be seen. But we will get the answer to that question very quickly as the season moves along, and we will find out if the Hawkeyes are a legitimate contender to win the Big Ten and maybe even make the college football playoff. I'm going to talk about everything Hawkeyes today and what I think of this football team, because their 2 wins are the most impressive in my eyes. But does that mean they are one of the best teams in college football? I'm going to make some compelling arguments for them and some compelling arguments against them. But first, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button for me, leave a like on this video, and also hit me up over on Twitter where I talk about all things sports related. Okay, so Kirk Ferentz is one of the best coaches in all of college football. His consistency with the Hawkeyes is unmatched. Obviously, the Iowa brand of football, they're not trying to find the star athletes. It's about finding guys who fit the school and fit what they are trying to accomplish. They want glue guys that are bought into the program. That's how Kirk Ferentz gets things done. This team that he has right now is probably one of the best he's ever had. I'm pretty sure Kirk Ferentz is the longest tenured coach in all of college football, right up there with Gary Patterson. He's been with the Hawkeyes since 1999. When he took over, this program was awful. Their first 2 years, he went 4-19 combined. Since then, his team is always making bowl games. They're always a very tough out in the Big Ten, and he's one of the best coaches in the nation. And to start out this season, you really could not have asked for a better start. First off, their win at Iowa State was the school's biggest win since probably 2009, and the program is looking great. Last year, they started off 0-2, but the Hawkeyes won 6 straight after that, and since 2019, they have beaten ranked teams like Wisconsin, USC, Minnesota, and now, to start off this year, Indiana and Iowa State. This program is rolling, and they are a legitimate force in college football. Now, if you have not watched Iowa play this year, this is a team that is 100% led by their defense and special teams. Yeah, they really are. Which in today's college football, and this year specifically, it honestly could be enough to be one of the best teams in the sport. Because from what I've seen this year, the best defenses are the teams that are winning, and I think that is very crucial. And it's a guy like Phil Parker, who's the defensive coordinator, who gets things done for them. He really is one of the nation's best, and he never gets talked about enough. This Iowa defense has led the NCAA with 70 interceptions since 2017. Yeah, they like to turn people over. The Hawkeyes have held their last 24 opponents to less than 25 points. That's the longest streak among Power 5 teams. Again, they're led by their defense. Linebackers are always incredibly aware. This team tackles well. The corners and safeties are always looking for turnovers, led by Riley Moss and Matt Hankins. They always want to get that interception. And it's the fact that 1, they get turnovers, and 2, they score off those turnovers is extremely impressive. This is a team that always is looking to punch you in the mouth on defense, and that's how they get stuff done. Now, you also have to have offense in college football and in football in general. And this is where the Skeptics come in, because is Iowa really the 5th best team in the nation? I mean, Indiana doesn't look great. Iowa State couldn't stop turning it over, and Iowa's offense is the weak link. Iowa's offense is not as good as their defense, nowhere near as good, and that's where the Skeptics come in and get concerned. Listen, the offense has been a massive problem for Iowa. It always has been the death of the program. They don't have enough explosiveness, and this year is no different. The offense is only averaging 238 yards of total offense. That's the 5th fewest in college football. Their 173 yards to beat Iowa State was the fewest amount for a team to beat a top 10 team in recent memory. They're last in the Big Ten in passer rating and in rushing yards. They're 125th in all of college football in yards per play. And in that victory over Iowa State by 10 points, they had 23 points from turnover luck, and Iowa State down to down was honestly the better team. And Iowa's 2.7 yards per play is not a good statistic. The offense is not great, it's very limited, and honestly, you could say they've gotten lucky because turnovers, if you look at it, are kind of a luck play to begin with, and they beat 2 teams that are kind of overrated to begin with. Now, you can't discount those losses, at least in my opinion, but it's what the Skeptics say. And Iowa is a team that drives everybody nuts. Nobody's really sure how to evaluate them because in the past they've always let down. But again, we're gonna find out what this team is made of. It's not like their offense is the worst thing ever. They definitely have some talent. Sure, they have a young offensive line. They lost talent from receiver last year. Their center, Tyler Linderbaum, is probably the best offensive lineman maybe in all of college football. He's an amazing center. They have a really good running back in Tyler Goodson. Dude's a dog. It's just is that quarterback position going to be stable enough? Spencer Petras is their quarterback, and despite pulling off the Big Ben look because he wears number 7 and Iowa looks like the Steelers, no, he's not Ben Roethlisberger, and the offense definitely struggles because he is the one leading the way. I will say this, in their next 2 games versus Kent State and Colorado State, they're going to find out what this offense is made of because they're playing lesser competition, especially in Colorado State. That's not a good program. So we will find out what this offense is made of very quickly. It also sets up a massive matchup between Penn State after that. So we're, again, gonna quickly find out what this Iowa team is made of. But the quarterback position definitely is the weakest part of this offense. Who knows, maybe those 2 games will be enough to get this offense going. But for what I think about this Iowa team, I will say this. Iowa, they do have the 2 best wins of any college football program to start off the season. And these 2 wins come against 2 very defensive-minded teams where they got the lead and got conservative and held onto the ball. So that's probably why those offensive stats are so low. Indiana and Iowa State's defenses were ranked in the top 15 heading into this season. So it's not like they just played some terrible competition or played bad defenses. These are 2 of the best in college football. So that's probably why the offense looked as bad as it did. And defense can overcome bad offense. We've seen it this year so far in college football. Having a very good defense is crucial. And that defense is so scary. 2 quarterbacks that have been pretty decent in college football, Michael Penix and Brock Purdy, both got benched because of how bad they were. That Iowa defense is a monster. And I can't wait to keep watching them play this year. They truly are the best defense in college football, honestly. Not based on talent, but just based on execution. Now, what happens to Iowa the rest of the season remains to be seen. Hopefully they don't end up like the basketball program that had a great team and then flopped in the postseason. Hopefully they can capitalize, maybe get into the Rose Bowl and win it, or most importantly, maybe get into the college football playoff. I would love to see that happen. And this is the year of the Hawkeye in a way. Heck, the Hawkeye trailer just dropped. That show is going to be a banger. Okay, quick Marvel plug. I'm sorry, I had to do it. But that game versus Penn State, as long as they don't overlook Kent State and Colorado State, that's when we're going to find out if Iowa is a legitimate contender for the college football playoff. I hate making everything about the college football playoff, but it would be nice to see Iowa finally break through. Kirk Ferentz deserves it. I'm 100% going to make a video about him very soon. He definitely deserves a video. And I'm tired of seeing people disrespect Iowa. They really are one of the most consistent programs in the sport. So let me know what you guys think about this Iowa Hawkeyes team. Especially if you haven't watched them play, you should definitely check out their defensive highlights. They have dominated Indiana and Iowa State to open their season. They are a very scary team to face. Hopefully the offense can get going, because if that happens, this is definitely, honestly, a national championship contending team. If that offense can get going, they really definitely could. That's a big ask, but I'm just saying, if it happens, watch out. That's gonna do it for this video. Again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me and leave a like on this video. It helps out the channel immensely. So hit me up over on Twitter where I talk about all things sports related. That's gonna do it for this video. If you're a Hawkeyes fan, I hope the success continues. You guys deserve it. One of the best teams in college football right now, number 5 in the nation. Maybe they can rise even above that. We will find out very soon. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.